The 2022 Royal Rumble match will not be elite, but in this video, I'm going to bring you guys all of the details and everything you need to know. Plus, we got some stories on GCW and a very popular wrestler who is not getting a push in WWE. WWE is pretty much done with him, and it's unfortunate. So we're going to talk about it all in today's video. As always, if you guys want more videos like this, I bring you multiple videos throughout the week, every single day, keeping you updated. GCW has announced that they are bringing in Mascara Dorado at GCW's upcoming pay-per-view at Hammerstein Ballroom. Now, what's really interesting here is Mascara Dorado is also known as former WWE superstar Grand Metalik, somebody who is not typically part of this style of wrestling, right? GCW is doing like death matches and a whole bunch of crazy stuff, and as much as I like GCW, I've also been fair to say it's not necessarily my interest in death matches and all this blood and gory and all that stuff. But nonetheless, I still like what GCW is doing. I think they're making a great name for themselves. I think they're doing great things in 2022. I've said several times, like, I would love to see them have a television deal. I would love to see them be more accessible because I do think there is a place for GCW in the world of pro wrestling. But how interesting is it that GCW manages to bring in names that mostly don't fit with their style and get people invested in it? GCW brought in Matt Cardona, and Matt Cardona has been doing incredible stuff. And I know a lot of people, for some reason, in my comment section, they tend to criticize Matt Cardona. They criticize Joey Janela. But right now, just by using social media and you know, really being able to connect with their audience, Matt Cardona, Chelsea Green, and Joey Janela have now set up a big program for this pay-per-view. Then you bring in somebody like Mascara Dorado, Grand Metalik, who is a phenomenal wrestler. And I don't even know where he fits in this pay-per-view, but I do know that I'm more intrigued to see it now because it was totally unexpected. And I think that is one of the things that really intrigues me about GCW. Again, I might not be into the whole deathmatch stuff, but if you could get me intrigued as a wrestling fan, I'm willing to buy your pay-per-views. I'm willing to get invested, and I'm willing to cover it and talk about it and share it with my friends because it's not predictable. And that's an issue that we have in wrestling right now. Also, another story, guys, I can't even believe I'm talking about this. This might turn into like a 50-minute rant. So, Wrestling News Co. has come out with an article today stating that they spoke with someone in WWE about Balor's clean loss to Theory. This was on Monday Night Raw. And they were told the following. Yeah, Finn was moved into the spot that Jeff Hardy had. He's just there now to help get over the younger guys. There was a pitch to make him heel, but that was weeks ago, and I haven't heard much about it since then. Vince never saw Finn as more than just a mid-card guy. Heyman would have pushed him to the moon, but Vince just never saw it. Austin Theory is going to get time to shine in the Royal Rumble match. Last I heard is he will be in the final 4 or 5 at the end of the match. Wow. If I'm being honest, right? Even if you don't watch WWE, how do you turn Prince Devitt, one of the biggest acts, into a mid-card guy? I can't understand this because when Finn Balor went back to NXT, he was immediately put in a big program. And for those who enjoyed NXT, the idea that Finn Balor was possibly going to join the Undisputed Era, and then for some reason, he then goes back to the main roster and WWE does absolutely nothing with him. And then people will criticize me for saying, how can you love AEW and hate AEW at the same time? How can you love WWE and hate WWE at the same time? And it's very simple. My response is simple. When it comes to these companies, there is no such thing as a perfect show. But I personally, as a fan, would like to see certain wrestlers being used in a different way, regardless of the show that they're signed to. Finn Balor has been underutilized for so damn long in WWE, and I just can't wrap my head around it. When Vince, John Laurinaitis, Bruce Pritchard, Kevin Dunn, when these people are out, I hope that whoever runs the show never underutilizes talent again. And for those who think it's a bad thing that WWE could very well be on the selling block right now, potentially Disney or NBC or somebody buying them out in the next 2 to 3 years, for those who look at that as a bad thing, this company has the talent. They have the roster. But they need somebody who could run this show and look at somebody and say, you know what? When people see you on the screen, they get excited for you, so we're going to do something with you. Balor gets the reactions. He sells the merchandise. The casual audience loves him. The hardcore audience loves him. But Vince McMahon doesn't. And that is just super weird to me. And our final story of today's video is, it's even shocking that I have to make this video, but I have to make this video. I have to talk about this. Cody Rhodes is not going to be in the Royal Rumble. Dave Meltzer is already confirming this, but we talked about this before about Jon Moxley. We had to shoot down that rumor. But then literally 24 hours after that video goes live, there is this massive rumor because of Cody Rhodes being not under a contract. There's people that genuinely believe that Cody Rhodes is going to WWE. And I said it in my video before. I said, look, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. And that's why obviously anything can happen, right? But how can somebody truthfully believe that Cody Rhodes, how did this rumor get so big to the point that people genuinely believe that Cody Rhodes was going to be in the Royal Rumble? Nobody from AEW will be in that Royal Rumble. If it happens, I will be absolutely shocked. But there should not be any involvement from AEW in the Royal Rumble. And most importantly, AEW should not even accept it. As a fan, I said this before. As a fan, of course, I would love to see it because it would be unrealistic. It wouldn't even seem possible, right? Because it's you know. But when I watch wrestling, and I have a career to talk about wrestling, and this is like my job, right? And I look at things. If I'm AEW as a business, I can't be talking shit about my competitor and then show up on their product, right? It just doesn't make sense. Plus, as somebody who pushes for Impact to do bigger and better things, I would love to see somebody from Impact in the Men's Royal Rumble match. I still firmly believe that will happen, but who knows? Who knows? But the fact that this became a big rumor and the fact that people genuinely believe that Cody Rhodes was going to be in the Royal Rumble, to me, is very weird. And I don't get it. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. I can't really change that. Meltzer came out and said, don't expect Moxley. Don't expect Cody. I'm telling you guys, do not expect anybody from AEW. It just does not seem like a good idea for AEW. As a fan, I would love nothing more than to see AEW and New Japan and Impact and AAA and CMLL and ROH and GCW and MLW and DPW and this W and that W. I would love to see all these W's come together and have one super amazing freaking pay-per-view. I would love it. As a fan, who wouldn't want all the best wrestlers in the world to come together? But at the end of the day, it's a business, and it doesn't make sense business-wise for AEW to be there, especially when AEW is tweeting out articles talking shit about WWE. So, look, it is what it is. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you next time.